Hi there, folks. My name's Novawing24, and welcome to the three festive simmers in our ultimate final episode for the year that has been all years 2020. Of course, yes, my name is Novawing24, and of course, I am joined once again by my two grumpy fellow simmers. First of all, we'll introduce you to Sergio from Helisimmer.com.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, who could forget our purple hat wearing, purple festive hat missing, with cyberpunk aficionado Drew BelGeode.
I'm going by the name V this week. Oh my God, that's all I've been doing. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that's all I've been doing because I've been doing Project Wingman.
How awesome is Project Wingman?
It's incredible, and especially for VR users, yeah, highly recommend you pick it up. It takes a minute or two to set up your whole task and whatnot, but it's so good. It's not a flight simulator in the truest sense of it, but oh my God, it's so much. Yes. And then Cyberpunk 2077 dropped, and I'm like, it's my week right there. I had to take a day off of work just so I could play the dang thing, and I'm still like 10% into the main story.
See,
crazy.
You see, I wasn't going to jump on the Cyberpunk train, and I've been watching you two, I've been watching other people, and then Sergio, I saw you're playing it, and I'm just like, peer pressure. Anyway, we'll see.
It's good. It's not perfect, mind you. It's not perfect. CD Projekt Red, you know what you got to do to fix. So I'm going to give you the finger wag this time. You know what you have to do. You know what you need to fix. But other than that, it is a very good experience. If you were on the fence and thinking about it, yeah, it's worth getting. Provided you're on PC. That's one of the things that they need to fix. Console, not as good.
So that is actually a really great way, unintentional great segue, of course, into this episode of the Three Grumpy Simmers, because of course, in our previous episode, we reflected on the year that was and some of the highs that we had and some of the lows, of course, that we experienced as well, of course, in the challenging year that 2020 has been. And of course, we've come back in our part two of our festive duo episode that we always do this time of year, where we've reflected on the year that was, and now we cast our gaze forward and we do a bit of crystal ball gazing and to look forward for the year that is ahead of us. And I think that's a good way for me to sort of roll into your predictions and your sort of thoughts for the future there, BelGeode, because it has been a challenging year, and of course we want to see about what the thoughts are for the next year. So tell us, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions? For gazing into your purple crystal ball for 2021? What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about for the next 12 months?
You realize I've been living the hermit life since before March. And everything that happened in 2020 just exacerbated that. At this point in time, if I am able to get out of the house, or let me rephrase that, if I will actually want to get out of the house in 2021, then that will be, I guess, something to. But it's gonna take a lot to get me out of the house for any reason. You're talking about crystal ball, and I'm like, I think we traded all of our crystal balls in for magic 8 balls, and right now we're all just shaking it, and it's like, reply hazy, ask again later. I don't even know what's going to happen. I didn't expect any of this to come about. And granted, yeah, amidst everything that's happened, we've had some really good stuff. But as far as predicting what's going to come next year, hell, at this point, I just hope I live through it. Me and my family, that's about it. As far as the flight sim community, I'm pretty sure we'll do good on our own.
I was going to say, it's like, nobody trusts polling anymore. After the previous years, no, we don't want to do polling or predictions anymore.
No, we don't want any Vegas over and under on this one. It's at this point where it's like Darwinism. It's just crazy.
I was gonna say, so you're not gonna go out on a limb and anything that you're sort of, you're on the radar. It's something that you're gonna
Okay.
see.
I will put it this way: the things that I would like to see. Obviously, we've got VR coming. Honestly, I would kind of like to see Microsoft and Asobo take a look at the flight model and things that they can do to improve it, because that has been a constant thorn in their side since launch. And I know that a lot of the developers that I speak with that do things like military planes and whatnot, they kind of need a little bit extra help from Asobo and Microsoft. So if they could, do a little bit more of the back end work to kind of clear the path, as it were, for me to get my Tomcat into Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I guess the other thing that I'm looking forward to, hopefully, if Eagle Dynamics is on board, they can give us things like the Mi-24, the Hind, otherwise known as the Crocodile. I need it. We need more helicopters in DCS, and that one's been promised to us, as well as the Kiowa. We all know Polychop's working on Kiowa. I think they said, what did they say, Sergio? It's coming out sometime next year, I guess, or they
were planning.
2022 now.
Yeah, they were planning on releasing this year, but they are still working on it, and there's some stuff to fix, some stuff to build. So I'm not going to do any guesses, but I would say I hope that it comes out in the first quarter of 2021. I hope. I have no inside information. That's just my hope, considering what we have been seeing from the team.
Hang on. The Kiowa or the Crocodile?
The Kiowa.
Kiowa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Crocodile's being made by Eagle Dynamics themselves, so we've already seen it. Wags did that video a few months back where he was flying it around Syria. So we know it's there. We know it's in a place where it could potentially be brought out relatively soon. We just don't know when, because, of course, it's Eagle Dynamics, so they don't tell us when. It's always two more weeks.
I was going to say, it's 2 more weeks. They have told us it's 2 more weeks, but anyway.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, that's some positives there that we can look forward to, and of course, those ones that we can, they're the smart predictions. We can check on those at the end of this time next year.
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll stick to that.
We'll stick to that. Okay, good to do some positives to look for, something rotary winged, and I think I like where you sort of went with the Microsoft sort of and Asobo helping out the third party devs. It'd be good to see. And of course, now we have to go to you, Sergio, our resident champion and leader and paladin for all things rotary winged.
Who's never on the forums
because he's too busy writing all those emails and actually
to the people
and actually sort of nitpicking and there is a reason, Sergio, why we call you professional nagger, but anyway, so tell us, professional nagger, what are your predictions? Gazing into the smoke of the future.
Yeah, well, there's it's a weird world and it's weird times.
That's an understatement. That is an understatement.
We do have some things coming up from previous years. So 2020 was a good year for sims since Microsoft Flight Simulator was released, and we are seeing a lot of people getting back into flight simming or getting into flight simming at all. We now have Microsoft already announced that they're going to release the sim for the Xbox in the middle of the year. So we're going to see a wave of newcomers, even more than we had already into the sim. Like Drew said, we're going to have VR this month in 10 days. We're recording this on the 13th. So, so in 10 days we're going to have VR. We're not going to have helicopters until at least 2022. So that's not something that I'm going to predict for 2021. I predict that hopefully we will start working with Microsoft in regards with helicopter flight dynamics. So that we can have a release in 2022. So I am hoping for that. I'm also hoping that Laminar Research do their thing, and now that they have Vulkan in X-Plane 11, we may be able to start seeing some huge performance improvements with the sim for the sim, and more multi-core CPU usage and all that mumbo jumbo that we are looking forward to see.
And
So
visual improvement.
that's something that will come afterward for sure. No,
They've
I understand what
got
they're
to.
doing.
They've
They
got
have
Yeah,
to,
to.
yeah. They
they
had,
have
they
to.
got to do it,
They have to.
but they have to get performance right first. So because if they are going to add more effects to the sim and they don't get performance up there, it's the same. You guys remember when you got FSX and we had all those little cool sliders and we could not pull them all the way to the right because Microsoft admitted it. There was no computer in the world that could render it with all the sliders to the right. Nowadays, yeah, technology has evolved, but I think that if Laminar Research started having visual effects and all the cool stuff that we want to see in X-Plane 11 right now, we wouldn't be able to use it anyway. So yeah, let's get the performance, up there first,
Get
and then
the base right and get your
yeah,
build
yeah.
right and go from
No,
there.
you got a valid point. You definitely got a valid point there.
About the other sims, it's a mystery. I have no idea where Prepared is going to.
I
It's always been kind of it's going downwards. I know
I
that's
just I,
I
I,
that's the
see you over
direction.
there chuckling, Tristan.
I'm sorry. Okay, look. Okay, look.
Tristan is like, okay, which direction is P3D going to take? Oh wait, I know.
That's I okay. Look, so again, full disclosure, I work for LM, and I look at it and I just go,
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time, some decades.
like
In some cases, it takes time.
okay. So it's kind of funny. Like it's really bad. And again, like full disclosure here. Like I work for LM, but it's you talk about Sergio. You talk about when FSX first came out and Microsoft said there was nobody who could go full right. Like nobody could have the sliders full right. There was just when FSX launched. You couldn't do it. Like even Microsoft themselves said you can't. Like we're building a platform that is going to transcend the technology that was available for it at the time. They knew that. But Prepared is fundamentally still that same engine from from 14 years ago. It's had a couple of coats of paint on it, but it's still fundamentally still the same engine. And you still can't put everything full right with a 3090. Like that hurts. I'm like, at what point? Yes, okay. I know that Asobo's offering still has some legacy code in there, but you still.
It's not the same engine. It's not the same engine.
Yeah,
No.
they've borrowed a lot from it, but they've built a new
Yeah.
engine on top of it. They built a new engine using the best of the old world and to make a new engine. So there are systems out there that can run everything full right, and that are not a NASA supercomputer. And then we've got Prepared that just the other day people are seeing the same errors that I saw on day one launch of V5. In fact, if I saw those same errors in V4, and I'm seeing them with people with i9 10th gens with 3090s, and going like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
You have my empathy on that one. That was pretty much my first experience with P3D V5 on an AMD Radeon 7. I couldn't use that thing for months until they came out with what was it, the second hotfix that actually fixed the issue?
I
don't know.
yeah, guys,
Frustrated much?
I want to drink the Kool-Aid, but Jesus. Give me something to work with, please.
Yeah, they are paying the price of working with the old platform. That's the thing. And we know they are not a big team. And we know they don't have a lot of resources.
Exactly, and I know the team, and I know the team does the best that they can. They do the best that they can, but they have limited resources, and they've been hamstrung and to their credit, they have done a lot with very old code. Like they have done
Mm.
a lot,
Yeah,
but we've also
yeah,
noticed that, and again we've talked about this in previous episodes, where their funding stream only unlocks when something else comes along to threaten them.
Hmm.
So in a way, I actually hope that we will see something amazing come out of their studio now because of Microsoft Flight Simulator, because of Vulkan and Metal, because the only
Mm.
time that team's really ever received an injection of resources they need to be able to grow has been when we saw somebody else come along and threaten them. When we saw X-Plane 11 come along, when we saw Flight Sim World come along, then suddenly they had resources to be able to move forward. So I'm really hoping that we're going to at least see them come back again. So
yeah. Because if you
That
look
would
at
be
it,
interesting.
if you look at it, I'm not putting, for example, companies like Apex in the mix, because Apex is a very small team as well. They are a very small company, but for 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 a company like Lockheed Martin to have such a small team developing this team, look, they are, for those that don't know, they are so much smaller than a Zobo. They are smaller. They are smaller than Laminar Research, and Laminar Research is not a big team. It's not. Laminar Research is not 3 or 4 guys. They have quite a few guys working on X-Plane, and we know the 2 or 3 more, mediatic faces like Austin and Ben. And there's a couple of other guys that I just forgot their names. I'm sorry, but one of them works with VR. Actually, I
Yeah,
think one
Chris.
of them. Yeah, Chris
Yeah, I
works
think
with
you're talking about
VR.
Chris.
mm,
Yeah, and there's another guy that works with our systems as well. So we have like these 4 guys that are the ones that we usually see talking more about X-Plane. But even
Mm.
Laminar Research is a bigger team than the one Lockheed Martin has working on P3D. So yeah, we do throw some punches and some jabs to P3D and Lockheed Martin. But the amount of work, like I said, Tristan, the amount of work that this small team is doing with a very, very, very old engine,
mm, mm.
and they are trying to keep it alive and constantly, shocking it back to life and trying to
and
get
and
it.
and I guess the funny thing is as well is that I also have a different viewpoint as well, because in a funny way, you almost when you move out of the consumer space, and I'm going to cause a lot of hate here, but basically the gamer space, and yes, for all of you at home who role play being an airline pilot, you're a gamer. Just accept it, okay? You're a gamer.
What
Move on.
about us wannabe fighter pilots? Are we gamers too? Oh wait.
Yes. Yes. The gaming world, okay, guys, just you're not the market. You're not the target market. I actually work in where the
Mm-mm.
target market is, and in those spaces, you actually want a platform that doesn't change, because you need to build a stable base that you're going to work for. That you need to know it's going to work for the next decade. Um, and you don't want to have something that evolves every 12 months. You actually don't want that. You want something that you can lock in space and say, this is going to be meet a set of training requirements, a set of fixed objectives, and it will do that for the next decade. Um, that's actually what you want, which is where prepared actually works really, really well. I've always said that, and I've always been a proponent for it, because in that space, when you change your mindset to that, it works incredibly well, and it is, I think, the best platform out there for those things, for that use case. Will we see?
Hmm.
I feel that sometimes I feel that Austin. I feel that I don't know, Sergio, but I feel sometimes that maybe there's people around Austin that want to move him in that direction, but he's never going to. He doesn't like sitting still. I don't think he's capable of sitting still.
Yep.
Just-
I
so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I have rarely
That's
seen
not
him.
necessarily a bad thing.
Well,
It's
exactly. It depends
it's
on your
not.
environment.
Yeah.
What's your environment? What's your use case?
Hmm.
What's your end goal? And that's where I think a lot of people get confused. Is that it's just the gaming market, the consumer market will not stand for sitting still. The enterprise, the business market, the corporate market, they they don't like change. They like status quo. They like that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
And but the thing is that status quo is needed even outside the professional market, and we see that happening with X-Plane, for example, and the fact that things are changing very fast. At least from version 10, things changed a lot, and inside X-Plane 11, through all the different versions, you had so much stuff getting fixed and tweaked and changed. There are a lot of add-ons that have broke, and you have add-ons that work perfectly in X-Plane 11.0 that do not work in X-Plane 11.40 or 41, and then 11.50. So it's been a moving target, and people want they want new things, and they want shiny stuff, and they want new features. Yeah, I like new features and shiny stuff as well. But the thing is, if you start adding features and changing the shiny stuff, add-ons will stop working. And one of the things that we have heard Microsoft say about Microsoft Flight Simulator is that they are working on a platform for a 10-year time span. Do you really believe that Microsoft Flight Simulator will change that much within these 10 years? They are going to evolve the platform right now. They are going to stabilize the platform. They are going to improve it. But I don't think we're going to see a huge amount of changes from Microsoft Flight Simulator throughout the next 10 years. It's not like they're not going to do a new version. It's going to be the same version for 10 years and going to improve it and enhance it and give us a bit more of stuff. But it will be the same sim, the same base sim for the next 10 years. So if you are someone that wants to see new versions every year, you may reconsider moving to another platform, because this one is going to change that much for the next decade.
It's about setting a standard.
Are you saying it's going to change a lot in the next 10 years, or you change what we see right now is what we're going to see for the next 10 years? You don't think we're going to see a lot of change?
No, I don't think we're going to see a lot of changes in the sim, because let's be honest and let's face it. For everything that we are seeing right now, it's something that we probably, you, me, and Drew probably only thought of seeing, within the next 5 to 10 years. And on X-Plane 11, for example, if you asked me a couple of years ago, before we knew that Microsoft was working on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and before we saw the images, I would say, yeah, okay, something like this is going to be made by Laminar Research within the next 5 to 10 years. And all of a sudden, Microsoft releases this. And I don't see any major changes, and we don't actually need major changes in the graphics engine or everything that Microsoft is doing. I'm not saying that it cannot and should not be improved. We are going to see improvements, and we've been seeing them right now. The sim was launched in August, and they already released a couple of country major country improvements to the sim, and that's something that they said they were going to keep on doing every couple of months or every 3 months or so. We're going to see some new scenery improvements. It is going to improve. The sim is going to improve. They are going to add new features. Obviously, we already talked about helicopters, and there are other things, other features that need to be included in the sim that are not directly related to helicopters, but they can also be used in fixed wing, like, for example, firefighting. It's something that I hope Microsoft will do someday. Not anytime soon, but someday. But this is a different system. This is something that needs to be added to the sim.
And that's the thing is that I think we'll see that we'll see some major changes, but really we'll see we won't see. Yeah, we'll see some evolution, but the big step
we won't see
changes,
new versions.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's actually what I think is going to be good, is that they've said that we're going to say this is where we are for 10 years. Does that mean nothing's going to change? No, it doesn't. But it means that we're not going to see, like, We're Prepared releases a new version, every 18, every 24 months, we see a new major change, which is really actually just a bunch of bug fixes. Whereas Microsoft sort of just said, we're going to have one platform for 10 years. We will
Yeah.
evolve that platform, but we're not going to make you rebuy the platform every 2 years. And I guess it remains to be seen where, because that's been Laminar Research has been, where Austin's going to, they explain, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But 11's really stuck around for quite a while, and it's really sort of evolving a lot. So it'd be interesting to see where Laminar goes with that as well. So I think
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and even more because one of the things that Microsoft did well was the fact that they have developed their own marketplace, which means that when you are
Yes.
buying stuff from the marketplace, you are actually giving a cut to Microsoft, which a lot of people think it's bad and that developers should get all the money. I feel the same.
I remember talking us about that. And I remember you actually, and I was a bit surprised where you said, no, we should be supporting their marketplace. And I remember your very clear reasoning why, and it really made change my perception of a lot of things. And I think you're
Yeah,
right.
because I think that we need to give developers the money that they deserve. But what we are doing here with Microsoft Flight Simulator, in this case, we are actually splitting the money between the developers, because it's not like, okay,
We give them a reason. We give them a reason to keep developing the platform
and funds, and we're giving and we're giving them funds. Let me give you an example of something that could. I'm not going to name any names, but there are some platforms that sell games out there. One of them, at least one of them, actually makes games because the company behind it
don't
makes games.
say.
Exactly, but there are other companies
How
that
did we
they
get on
all
this for predicting the future? Okay.
but there are some companies which the sole model that they have, the business model that they have, is just selling games that other companies do. Okay, so when you are buying them games, okay, you are also funding them so that they can give you this service, which is very helpful. But you are taking it, but they are just making money out of the fact that they are reselling stuff from developers. When we are buying stuff from Microsoft, from the Microsoft marketplace, we are splitting the profit between the developer and Microsoft, but we are actually funding Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we are actually funding the next iterations, the next features, the next
those
cool
growth
things.
and that all the things that certain very noisy members and short-sighted noisy members of our greater community seem to rail about. It's like, well, actually, if you want to have those things evolve and grow, then you need to support what's here right now. Is what and I really want to say, is what we have right now perfect? And I look forward to seeing those changes. And I know we're disappointed. We're not going to see. Well, you never know. Maybe we'll see helicopters grow faster. But if we want to see helicopters come in, and if we want to see them come sooner, then this is how we help them do them, by supporting the marketplace. So yeah, it's some good takeaways.
And it's not $60 or $100 throughout the next 10 years that will help Microsoft do everything that they are doing. It's not $60 or $120 for 10 years that's going to pay for bandwidth. It's not going to pay for servers. It's not going to pay for development. It's not going to pay for everything else, right? So this is buying on the marketplace, on Microsoft Marketplace, actually helps the product and helps Microsoft fund the product and get us the cool stuff that we want for the next 10 years.
So that's why there's a reason to buy from the marketplace, and as much
exactly.
And I've seen some people say, I'll never buy from the Microsoft Marketplace. It's like, actually, you should, and this is why. This is why you should.
That's probably the best place that you would get it from, because I mean, at the end of the day, everything that you are doing in the sim, if you read the EULA really closely, it's all ultimately property of Microsoft.
And which I find, I'm actually, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, because this is supposed to be a festive episode. We're supposed to be happy here.
I gotta throw it out there. Hey,
you've been playing.
Happy New Year.
See, you've been playing. See, this is what happens when you play in a dystopian cyberpunk universe. Is you end up getting this. So
Put it all.
So that's
Oh
well, at
yeah,
least
and my
we.
character's a corpo, so hey.
So well, at least we as Sergio. So you're excited to see what's coming. So which is good.
I am excited to see what's coming, especially from the other teams. Of course, I'm excited about Microsoft Flight Simulator, but there are some major things that we want for another couple of years. There's nothing huge that I think Microsoft will do throughout the next year. We're talking about stabilizing the platform and adding some improvements, and then we'll start seeing some vertical thing. I am excited about explaining about what laminar research will do. People are asking for an X-Plane 12. Oh, give us X-Plane 12. I just want this to survive right now, and I just want
Yep.
Austin to do his thing and get multi CPU and all that stuff working, get performance out there, and then start working on features that we find interesting. And of course, I want to see the other teams evolving as well. I have no idea what Apex is doing. Well, I have some ideas.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
I do.
What
I do
can
have
you
some
publicly say, Sergio?
I cannot. I cannot. So I do have some ideas of what Apex may be doing, but I don't know if that's going to happen this year or if it's going to be too very big or very small. I'm rooting for AeroFly FS2 since Drew first mentioned it as an excellent VR experience. So I am really rooting for them. I just don't know. No one knows actually because IPAX is so secretive.
Hey, IPAX.
And
here's a
right
tip,
there.
IPAX. Yep. Start talking to us. Dear
Yep.
God.
That is what I look for the most in 2021. IPAX, please, for the love of all that's good, tell us what the heck you're doing.
Like, okay,
give some of us something that we can preview, and we'll take on the job of telling everybody what you're doing.
I will sort of say that it's really interesting actually because I know we're supposed to be.
Works both ways.
How do we get onto this? We're supposed to be looking forward to next year. Anyway, but I will.
We're talking about things that we would like to see next year.
Yeah. And actually, that's a really good point because all three of us, and it was really funny because I actually remember when you sort of said, "Hey, have you heard about this sim?" And both Sergio and I sort of went, "Not really." All right, let's go check it out. I was blown away by it. I genuinely was. I remember when I put my little my preview of it was so huge. It had to go into 3 parts.
Yeah. No,
I was fundamentally. And it's really funny, actually, because I looked at it, and a lot of people poo-pooed it, but I looked at it and went, there's a really good sim under here. Like, they have the beginnings of something really exciting there if they want to do something with it. So, but just talk to us, dear.
Look, no, it's insane. It's insane because here's the thing.
So Microsoft, you learnt. This is good.
This is something very, very odd because this is almost like an underground sim, right? It's like I said, Drew. It is, look, and it's crazy. It's like they are even inside the bunker, and now and then it's not like they drop a bombshell. They just shoot ballistic, ICBM.
I've just got this vision. Sorry. Please tell me I'm not the only one that's old enough to remember this. But now all I'm just hearing is the Need for Speed Underground soundtrack now starting to play. Every time I now think about AeroFly FS2, I'm going to hear this. The Need for Speed Underground soundtrack's going to kick in for me. It's like I'm just going to hear Black Betty going on. It's just anyway. Tokyo Drift going on.
Here's the thing. Here's how IPAX works. Usually, you don't listen. You don't know about anything that's going on with the sim. And now and again, it's a good sim. It has some flaws. It has some areas of improvement. I've been talking my ass with IPAX about it. There's stuff that and then they know they need to improve it. We don't know anything about it. Just this is kind of what happened and what continues to happen with Apex. And and you talk to them, and it would be cool for you to have this and that, and they go, yeah, probably, and all of a sudden they tell you, oh, look, Sergey, do you want to come to Switzerland and try AeroFly FS2 on a motion platform with an R22 done with the conjunction of Claude Richard, the guy that invented the Richard maneuver, because we have this cool helicopter in the sim. And I'm like, what?
I remember when you did that. That was...
And you have what? No?
Yeah. So IPAX, dear God, we love you, but just...
Talk to us.
And then they go silent, and all of a sudden
that's just it. Then we heard nothing from you guys for years. Yeah. Anyway,
look, and all of a sudden, just to finish, and all of a sudden, oh look, Sergio, we have another helicopter with the sim.
So what we need, IPAX, at the very least, can you at least kidnap him and like show him at least what you're working on again, please? Because throw us a bone. Throw him something at least. Anyway, so yes. Okay.
It's hard, but I am hoping to see more AeroFly FS2 this year. It's a good sim and it needs to evolve. Yep. So IPAX, please show us something. We are very eager to see what you'll come up with next.
Mm-hmm. So that is exciting. Well, that's good. That's some interesting. Drew, you're sort of just like let's just see, give me a reason to go out. And then, Sergio, you sort of got a couple of platforms that maybe we'll see some things off. That's good. So that's some good takeaways. Hopefully we'll see some growth there. That'd be good. I suppose for me, I guess I'm a little bit more pragmatic, I suppose. For me, I kind of hope for 21 to be a bit more of a, I guess, sort of a bit of what you sort of said, Sergio, a bit of a stabilization. I really want to see. I think Microsoft really, and Asobo, because full credit, and congratulations, by the way. We haven't given them a congratulations. We should give Asobo huge congratulations. Yes. Huge congratulations to the team, awesome. And well done to Marshall, to York, to everybody that is part of the huge team there at Asobo. Congratulations to you guys for receiving the well-deserved accolade of being the best simulation game of 2020, because truly you guys are. So congratulations to that. But I really hope that that 2021 will be where you guys sort of come into your own. So you've changed the market. You've really fundamentally you've been the disruptor now of 2020, and now 2021 will be. It'll be a bit of a challenge because I think it's time for you to consolidate. I'm really looking forward to how you consolidate what you've done. But so I'm really. My sort of crystal ball gazing into 2021, I hope that they build on what's there, that they don't try and go too hard, which is a bit weird, I know, but I really think that it's one of those things where don't try and go too far, too fast. Let's consolidate on what you've got, because you've got, fundamentally, it is absolutely, and I will maintain this. I will beat this down for everybody, and I will say that it is by far the greatest and the best desktop flight simulation platform that is available right now. It is fundamentally, it is light years ahead of anything else. Apparently we have... See, even my cat agrees with me. Has come here to amplify the point.
I'm just waiting for mine to show up as soon as she sees yours.
So I really hope that the Microsoft takes this opportunity to sort of say, okay, so we've come out hard now. Now it's the case of don't try and outdo yourself. Now you've set this level. Don't think, okay, now we've got to better it. Now we've got to go into space. No, you don't, okay? As Sergio said, I really, my crystal ball and my hope is that 2021 will be a year of, okay, we've got there. Let's now build on this foundation. Let's firm up this foundation that we have, that we've laid for ourselves, and let's make sure that we've got a that we give that we firm up this foundation, that we address some of the quirks and the idiosyncrasies that we've found now that we've gone to mass market. And I'm really so excited to see them bringing it to a whole nother generation of simmers on the platform of on the Xbox platform. I am so excited by that, and I really hope that that will really be the gateway drug to this hobby and this passion that we all have. So my sort of prediction is that, and my hope, as my other prediction, sort of crystal ball gazing, is that this will be the catalyst for Laminar Research, for Lockheed Martin, for IPAX, for all the other developers out there to actually go, okay, the bar's been raised. What can we do to differentiate ourselves? How are we going to, what are we going to offer? Because the other thing I really want to hope that I really have a true hope for is that our community, we need to stop this tribalism, is what we need to do. We need to stop this, this getting the flopping it out on the table and getting a tape measure out. We need to stop this. Okay, because there will never
Interesting
be.
analogy, yeah.
But it's exactly what it is. It's exactly
I'm
what
not
it is.
disputing that. I am not disputing that at all.
I have. I'm trying to make this point, and I've just got this tail just going past my face. But
that was the highlight of this show, ladies and gentlemen.
So, because everybody sims in a different way, and I preach this ad nauseum, is that there is no one true way to sim. Everybody's simming experience is different. Everybody's simming experience is unique, and everybody's simming experience is valid. Whether that
This
be
is the way.
this is the way. Whether it be your simming is on the other side of the galaxy, of the Milky Way galaxy, in Elite Dangerous, or whether it be going through different galaxy generations in Star Citizen, whether it be going role playing an airline pilot in Prepared, whether it be flying helicopters in X-Plane 11, or whether it be doing GA flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator, or whether it be doing GA flying in Prepared, with a GA flying in X-Plane 11, helicopters in Prepared. All of these sims are perfectly valid. All these sims are perfectly valid. We still all have the ability to do this, and we should never belittle anyone. Yes, stops it. Yeah. Because it's always going to be
Somebody's
accessible.
getting cold for Christmas.
Because at the end of the day, we all share a passion for simulation and gaming. And however we choose to do that is no less valid than how somebody else does it. And I really, my hope, my desire, my goodwill for all men is that we slow down this tribalism, that we rein this back in, and we start realizing that there is more that connects us than there are that divides us. That is perfectly okay to have Microsoft Flight Simulator, to have X-Plane 11, to have Prepared V4, to have AeroFly FS2, to have Elite Dangerous, to have Star Citizen, to have AeroFly, to have DCS World, to have all of these sims installed and to use all of them. My hope is that that becomes more accepted, and that it is perfectly okay to have all of those things. It is also perfectly fine to have a cat as a male. That's perfectly fine. So that's my hope, that this year becomes the year where we become more accepting of each other and more accepting of the fact that there are more things that separate us. So there are more things that unite us than there are that separate us and divide us, and that we recognize those divisions and we work to overcome them. It's very, very, idealistic, I know, but I can but hope that this will be the year that we do those things, and that we appreciate the things that we have. Are any of our sims perfect? No, they're not. But you can't just simply say that you can't call one, oh, this sim's rubbish because of this, when make sure that you be very careful and you don't end up outing yourself as being a bit of a sim racist or a sim elitist, because I've watched with great interest lately when a variety of the some of those similitists have come forward and tried to say that certain sims were nothing more than eye candy, and then watched them actually get absolutely destroyed when people have called them out and said, actually, or my best one was watching somebody say that Star Citizen was crap because it doesn't model atmospherics correct on a non-Earth planet. I actually watched a thread evolve on a forum where somebody actually said, how dare they needed to fix the aerodynamics because the atmospherics flight was not correct.
Based on the experience that person had in flying in other worlds, that could be correct.
I put the popcorn on. It was great. So guys, please be good humans to each other. Please be good humans, and please respect the fact that at the end of the day, we are all sitting in front of a damn computer or an Xbox or a PlayStation and playing these games. That's all I hope for. Yes, there you go. Okay.
Seems good to me.
I think it's good. So I think we should also maybe try to start bringing this, and we'll try next year to take a recap of our predictions of the year, of our hopes and dreams for 2021, and we'll look at it at the end of 21, and we'll see what happened. See who got cold and who got a present.
Oh man, I'm imagining the three of us sitting around a barrel in flames in the middle of the desert, winter. The whole world just exploded.
And then all that's left is the three grumpy simmers going, well.
Yep.
So that
Didn't
went
see
well.
that coming.
Yeah, IPEX didn't say anything.
Nope.
To their credit, they don't say anything. They just simply. Well, to be fair, Microsoft and IPAX probably have the right idea, because they don't say anything. They just like, hey guys, and then leave. Smoke bomb, just drop that smoke bomb and out. I think maybe that's the way. Maybe that is the way. All right. So guys, that has been our diatribe, crystal ball gazing, our smoke bombing for 2021. We hope you guys are safe and well. But of course, many of you are here, of course, because, yes, we did have a competition running. Thank you so much to everybody who entered. It was really heartwarming to hear some of the stories and some of the things that you guys talked about. Hearing about you guys reconnecting with the simulation genre through group flights, through connecting and finding the flight simulation genre for the first time, and your discoveries here, for bringing projects back to life. Back from the dead and bringing them to life from various platforms. It's been absolutely wonderful reading your stories. It really. And at the end of the day, I will say this, because it's really hard. Like, as you guys know, I make that weekly news video, and Sergio, and you make a weekly flyby, your weekly flyby as well, and my Nova app every week. I don't know about you, but damn, it's depressing at times. Sometimes some of the video, like when I make the videos. So it's been really heartwarming to see the positives that are in this community, and it really does make me happy to see those positives, because it can be so depressing moderating some of the negativity. It really can be. So can I just put another small request out there for 2021? If you're in forums, those who moderate those forums, can you just do a positive post every now and again? You don't have to direct it to us. Just simply say, post a picture of you of the sim, of something that said, "Hey, I had a really great experience flying in this helicopter or this aircraft in this scenery." We really like those posts. We really do.
Yep.
We don't see them enough. We see so many trolls and so much vitriol that we would really like. We really like it when we get to see positive posts. Can I ask you all to at least once next year make a positive post, please? Anyway, so yes, we had two fantastic prize packs to give away. I'm going to let my two fellow festive simmers announce the winners for those prize packs. So over to you, gentlemen, please.
Which one are we doing first?
Let's do the sim of the hour. Let's talk about iPacks. Let's give away the AeroFly pack first. iPacks.
Well, let's see. All right.
We have to thank Apex. Actually,
Yeah, we do
they
have to thank
are.
iPacks. Like you
Yeah,
don't talk
yeah.
to us, but you do give away cool stuff. We got to thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
well,
I'll give them that.
yeah,
I will give them
yeah.
that.
Well, they may not be very communicative, in saying what they are doing, but I have to say that every single time I talk with IPACs, they reply. They were always amazing and generous. They are a great bunch. They are an amazing team. So
We do
I
love
don't
you.
want to
We do
pass.
love you.
Yeah, we don't. I don't want to pass the wrong message. They are just an amazing company, an amazing team. I really love those guys.
So to recap, what exactly is in the IPAX package that our winner?
So
The
much.
Apex
Yes.
package it has it's a serial key for AeroFly FS2 with all the content that IPAX released for the sim. So it's a bunch of stuff. It's
Scenery
all
packs,
the
aircraft. It's
yeah,
a lot
well,
of stuff.
yeah, the aircraft is the one. No, they have a bunch of aircraft there, including a couple of amazing helicopters, the best helicopters, or some of the best helicopters in any sim, and they have a bunch of scenery around the world, for Switzerland and the United States, and I think the Netherlands as well. So there's quite a few. There's a lot to see and explore, and especially in Switzerland, you have amazing areas. You have like, for example. Oh, I forgot the name. Gloria. What is it? Drew the
I was
007
about to say,
thing.
Peace Gloria?
I was about to say Gloria
Peace
Estefan,
Gloria.
but no, that's
Yeah,
not okay.
Peace Gloria.
No, that's
No,
Miami. Peace, Gloria.
Peace Gloria. Peace Gloria is there. Here's
That
the
is-
challenge, guys.
That
Here's
is
the challenge.
Yep.
Grab the R22 and try. Takeoff is not that hard. Try to land there. That's something that,
You better
Okay,
off
so
going to Luck
so
Luck.
I've been there. I've actually been up to that to that mountain with that little the platform there. I've actually been there on the tram. So
Were you wearing a tuxedo and saying,
no.
Irishman.
I tried
She's
to
an
I tried to
Shaken,
order
but not stirred.
I tried to order a martini from the bar, and the guy just looked at me and like I think it was whatever was Swiss for get out. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway.
All right. So the question that we had asked was, what was your best simulation slash gaming, should that be?
Best
Whatever.
simulation gaming moment.
Simulation gaming moment of or experience of 2020. So, for the AeroFly FS2 prize pack,
Drumroll.
the answer that we all agreed was the most heartwarming and actually just about summed up the question. That prize goes to Jacob. And Mr. Tristan, if you don't mind, can you read what it was that
yes, absolutely,
Jacob actually
absolutely.
commented, since it was on your channel?
So it was actually really interesting, and this goes to talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. So his answer was, so it was Thanksgiving in the US, and he hadn't seen the video from Microsoft Flight Simulator, the developer diary. At 2 minutes and 8 seconds, Jorg said on the day, in that moment, the words he said absolutely hit me hard. This was the best moment in simulation for the year. The ability afforded to us all to go home. The world moved away from us a little bit, and I think it's a little bit closer inside the sim. That is a powerful message from the top guy.
I
at
felt
Microsoft.
that.
And
I felt that.
I do remember that particular line in that sim, and it really encapsulates this year, and it's something that you see a lot of requests. As many of you know, I do a live streaming. I live stream in Microsoft Flight Simulator twice a week, and it's very regular that we get requests to visit places in the world and places in the sim. And I myself, a lot of the places that I go to, I've either been there personally, or I know people who've been there, or I've wanted to go there, and And this sim, more than any other, really does allow you to do that, to actually go and experience a place and connect it. And with 2020, the year that it is, where many of us have had our wings clipped, and I know myself, I do a lot of traveling, and to my passport didn't get used this year. That's the first year in a really long time where my passport has not been used, whether it be for work or personal, and it and especially with my family situation as well at the moment, that's been really challenging. So to share that experience, to be able to have that and share that experience, really, yeah, that 110%. I
Mhm.
read that and that floored me. And
Yep.
it floored all three of us. So,
I
uh,
felt the same way. Yeah.
Jacob, congratulations. You really picked up that line. And to Yorg, hey, dude, like when we met as well, like yeah, I'm really proud and excited for Microsoft to have Yorg as the head of the program, because I really feel that he gets it. 100%. So if anybody hasn't watched any of the developer diaries or any of the developer communications with featuring Yorg, I 100% suggest that you go back and listen to some of the things that he says, because you really get the sense that of how passionate he is about this franchise, about this genre, and you get why he drives so hard for this. So could not have picked a better moment myself.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough. So congratulations, Jacob. We will be in contact. Keep an eye on your email for details on how you can redeem your prize. All right. Okay. Onwards to explain. Sergio, if you'd like to do the honors.
Yeah, well, it wasn't easy. Like Drew said, Jacob's entry was just absolutely amazing. I went for something a bit more, or we went for something a bit more pragmatic, a bit more practical for the explain winner, which actually means a lot to me and says a lot to me, because I remember when I first started getting into flight simulation and going through all the challenges and trying to understand how everything worked, and the community was just very helpful. So for the explain price pack, we have selected Lance Lottel. And Lance came up with something very simple, but like I said, that means a lot to me, and I'm sure to you, Tristan, and Drew as well. So, if you want to do the honors, Tristan, of as well reading
Yep.
the entry for Lance.
Absolutely. So Lance's response was very to do, as I said, it ties into what we're talking about with what we've talked about here before is how flight simulation is it's that interesting thing where it crosses that boundary between gaming and training. And please understand as well, and I say this as putting my professional hat on for a second here, is that desktop flight simulation is not perfect. It is a good for a component to training. It's not not complete training. And he talks about, because he's wanting to learn how to fly helicopter IRL, so he's using X-Plane as part of as a component of his procedural training. So his answer was, it's his first year. So my first year getting into simulation. The best moment would be learning the skills to cold start and fly a helicopter and using it for real-world procedural training. And for that, Prepared and Explain are perfect, because it allows you to do the procedures and what buttons you flick, and what controls and how you test controls and how you check your in-flight cockpit procedural training. For that thing, desktop flight simulation is perfect because it allows you to do things at your own pace without having to worry about having to cook a $1.6 million turboprop turboshaft engine in case you stuff it up.
Can't say I've ever had that experience. At least not in real life.
I may or may not have got very close to cooking an engine once. Moving on. Anyway, so
what exactly constitutes the Explain package that Mr. Lance has won?
Well, Lance is going to get a serial key for Explain 11, which he can obviously give someone and perhaps get someone else into flight simulation as well if already owns Explain. which
gift that keeps
is
giving.
an amazing way to corrupt other people and getting them into and getting him into simming.
This is why you're getting cold. You're just naughty all around.
Yes,
Just got your number.
I am evil. We're giving away stuff. We're evil. We're the worst.
My plan
and
is
also-
coming together.
It is. It is. Oh, it is even so much because we are also giving a couple of helicopters. Oh, so Lance is also getting a couple of helicopters if he decides to get another helicopter for Cohen simulations. He'll be getting from Cohen simulations. He'll be getting the Bell 222 in both versions, UT and B. So you have a nice one with the landing gear and another one with the skids. And you may be also able to choose from anything V-Skylabs offers, which includes obviously the right kind of aircraft, which is helicopters.
What were you saying about Simulita's Tristan?
Just saying, it's not being elitist, it's being real.
Okay.
The propellers facing the wrong way on your helicopters, on your airplanes is all I'm going to say, Sergio.
Oh my God.
What something helicopter is 1,000 parts in flying in close formation with an oil leak waiting to happen. Anyway, so
Held together by the appropriately named Jesus nut, because if that goes off, you better start praying.
I seriously love the fact that it's called Jesus Nut. I absolutely love that. Anyway,
Swear to God, yep.
congratulations to Lance and Jacob for your prizes. Check your emails for how to redeem your prizes. To everybody else who entered, thank you so much for your stories. As I said, it genuinely does. It genuinely does warm us to see that you guys do feel and see the positivity, and we hope that you guys have enjoyed. Everybody has enjoyed our diatribe throughout the year. We, as I said, we started this several years ago, thinking it was going to be a couple of episodes and we'd be done. We never thought we'd be here 4 years later. Wow.
Oh, jeez. Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Really?
Anyway, I think it has. I think it's either 4 or 5. Anyway, however long it is, we never thought we'd get this far. But anyway, so we want to say thank you very much to each and every one of you, the viewers here on YouTube or listeners here on Podbean. Thank you so much for listening to our diatribe, for supporting us, and we love hearing from you. If you ever have any commentary, please, we'd love seeing your comments in the commentary here, or please feel get in touch with us as well. All right, that is it for 2020. We are done. We'll be back grumpier than ever in 2021 for more episodes. I look forward to sketching you guys there, because we still have our official review of the Microsoft Flight Simulator to do at some point. We still don't know how we're going to do that, because it's so big. It's huge. Anyway, all right, so that is going to round up our episodes for 2020. Thank you so much for your continued support, both here and on the various platforms. Don't forget to say, to give a shout out, and I'm going to give a shout out to my fellow Grumpy Simmers. Make sure you go to follow Helisimmer.com over on YouTube, and make sure that you attend Helisimmer.com as the website for your simulation news, even if it does have a slight slant towards rotary winged. We won't hold that against them, but he does cover all the simulation genres though as well. And of course, heading over to BelGeode and his channel for some amazing storytelling in all the simulation platforms of various subscriptions as well, because we still need to find out what's happening to Voodoo Squad. We still don't know.
It's coming. It's coming.
All right. So finally, I'm going to say thank you so much to you, Sergio from Helisimmer.com, for all of your chats throughout the year.
Thank you, guys. See you in 2021 if something doesn't blow up like the universe.
Hold up. How many days do we have left here?
There's that meme kicking around where it rolls on to month 13 of 2020. I don't like that energy in the universe. That energy does not need to be in the universe.
Yeah, no.
Does not need to be in the universe. All right, thank you so much, Sergio. Congratulations as well to Sergio, because Helisimmer.com, I believe, was number 1 or there was the number two behind FS Elite, but number one for definitely for Rotary Wing News globally. So congratulations to you. And number two behind FS Elite for news for
Thank you.
trusted news for simulation news. It was great seeing you as so it was mentioned as well to Helisimmer to Sergio. It was great seeing Helisimmer.com actually turn up as so in the Navigraph survey for those who took it. You would have noticed there was a question which said, "Where do you go to for your flight simulation news?" And Helisimmer.com actually was one of the places that was an option to go to in that. So huge congratulations to you, Sergio, for all the hard work that you put into the website and the community that you have fostered behind you as well, and all the nagging that you do behind the scenes to make sure that developers know that the world is your helipad. I have something as well that you need to nag Orbix over, because we discovered they let you down in Microsoft Flight Simulator. They let you down, so you're going to need to do some nagging with them. So
Hmm.
we'll discuss
Oh,
that
I'll
after.
be doing some nagging.
Yeah,
Just
there you go.
yeah, just wait and see. Just wait and see.
Right. So congratulations to you, Sergio. And of course,
Thank you.
we cannot have a three Grumpy Simmers without my amazing friend, the true purple hat wearing, purple pimp suit wearing, Tomcat aficionado, Tomcat expert, Drew BelGeode. It would not be the three Grumpy Simmers. The three Grumpy Simmers would not exist. Obviously, it wouldn't exist without the three of us, but it absolutely would not have existed without Drew and BelGeode, and this crazy idea that we had over a lot of alcohol in a bar
Yeah.
in Connecticut.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to admit, the older I live, the more everything that we are doing on this show just starts to make sense. It's like, folks, what you
I
see
saw it
is
coming.
what,
I
like
saw it coming.
upwards of an hour of us just going on. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes. You don't see the extra hour that we talk before we start pressing record, or even the time after when, it's all no holds barred because we're trying to be family friendly here on YouTube. But outside of that, oh my God. And then every day I inundate these guys with stuff that I find online. Like, you see this? Sometimes this show just writes itself. And that is
Exactly.
absolutely amazing, considering the fact that none of us are using a script. But
Exactly.
thank you. Thank you.
Don't
and
tell them the
I gotta thank both
secrets.
of you as well. Well, they should know that from my channel, because nothing I do ever has a script, including Voodoo Squad. None of it is scripted.
There is something that Drew just said that I would like to finish by thanking you both, because for many reasons, the three Grumpy Simmers being one of them. But the thing is, you guys are huge. You both of you are a huge part of my life, because we work in front of computers and we are always on. And you Tristan, and you Drew are the two people that I talk with the most. Hands down. We are always exchanging, and I know I've been quieter lately, but we are always exchanging messages and sending stuff to each other, and it was something that started up as just like we were saying, Tristan, that we thought that was going to last just a couple of episodes.
Yep.
Became a friendship of a lifetime. And I appreciate that, and I thank you very much for your friendship, for your time, for being out there, for listening when times are rough and things are not that way, done that well, and that recently things went south on my end, really fast. So thank you very much for your friendship, for being out there, guys. And here's to 2021. Let's keep on rolling.
Sure, I'll drink to that.
And I really want to say that. So that is something, and I really want to point that out. That this, I feel, is a microcosm of our community. So I really want to end this episode on that note. That the friendship, Sergio, and the connection I have with you and Drew is very real. and that is the kind of connection that our hobby has, and that we have with each other. And I said it before that there is more that unites us than separates us. So please see that. I really genuinely hope that each and every one of you at home see that. Um, Set aside your choice of sim. Set aside your preference of aircraft, and remember that we are here to enjoy a shared passion for craning our heads skywards. So, on that, thank you so much for another year. Look forward to seeing everybody in 21. Be safe, be healthy, be kind to each other, wash your hands. Please follow directions. Please believe it. It is real. It is terrifying. I would like to see my family at some point. It has been 56 weeks. As of the time of this filming of this, it has been 56 weeks since I've seen my partner or my kids. And until the rest of the world gets its proverbial together and starts being responsible and treating each other as fellow humans, I won't get to see them. So please get on that. That'd be nice. That's my final Christmas message. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Safe skies to all. As I said, my name's been Overwing24. Don't forget, as I said, to give a like and a follow to, and also like and subscribe to Sergio and his Helisimmer.com channel. Same with our good friend Drew BelGeode. Give his like and a subscribe to his channel, and maybe throw a like and a subscribe to this video and my channel as well. And if you want to support the work that we do as the Three Grumpy Simmers, we have a Patreon as well. All the links in the description down below. All right, guys, take care. Safe skies to all. See you in 2021. Fairly
Next
well.
year.
Next year. Woo!
Ciao.
Take care. Bye for now.
See you guys.